my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're getting out in nature, but in my area it's a rainy day. Even though the temperature is warm in my area, like in the 50s, it is just a rainy day. So Starlight did not go out for her beautiful hike like she was hoping. But anyway, if you are able to get out and enjoy nature and take a hike, please try to make the time to be able to do that. It's so vitally important. And also, I just want to make sure you are taking really good care of yourself and your loved ones. And whoopsie, the loved ones that are there supporting you. And Starlight just got a haircut today, a nice trim job, so I feel better today. And besides my haircut is I hope you are, being kind to yourself. Don't be too hard. And when I say that, also be kind to others, not just in the month of November and December because of Thanksgiving and Christmas. So even after December, when we hit January, which is it is my favorite time of the year because of the, the first of the 2024, and to make our New Year's resolutions, to work on goals for the 2004. So, and then I didn't know this until last year, but really, the calendars are all messed up. We've been living by a wrong calendar, which really January is really not the beginning of the new year. It's really in March. So anyway, you could still start, working on what you want to do for 2024 in the month of January. So we kind of all start that year in the January 1st, to what are you going to do for, January, for the 2024, the new year? But that is not what this video is about, even though I look forward to saying, what do I want to accomplish this year? And there's so many people that give up because they don't stay to the things that they want to work on. They get distracted. But like I said, that's not why I'm making this video. If you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. You can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that's Kathy with a K Dingman. You can give this video a thumbs up. You can share my videos with your family, your friends, your cat, your dog, your skunk. You have a pet skunk. Also, you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you could follow me on Instagram, and that is at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So anyway, today I've been thinking about this because I got so many videos and topics that I wanted to talk to you about, and lately I've been kind of in the like building up on that you have power, that you're kings and queens, and how to take back your power, which that is a video before this one. Ooh, I got an itch. And today though, like I said, I've been wanting to start this video, this topic, ooh, I have an itch again, this new topic, and that is there anybody out there really searching for the real deal, like as far as relationship goes, like, is there anyone out there looking to get married anymore? Or is everyone just looking to get hooked up with somebody, nothing serious kind of stuff, maybe you're just looking for a one-night stand or friends with benefits. Is there anyone really searching for love? And when I say love, some people get lust mixed with love, and that's not what Starlight is talking about. We're not talking about lust. We're not talking about friends with benefits. We're not talking about, one-night stands or any of that stuff. We're talking about relationships, where you work on yourself. Like in communication is key in any kind of relationship. And the reason why I am bringing this topic up is because I had a lot of conversations with a lady not too long ago throughout the time when I was working at this company, and we both talked a lot about how strange it is being on a dating app, even though Starlight is not searching for anyone because I already have someone lined up, but I was searching for somebody of like-mindedness, someone where I can talk to and go and spend time with, maybe go out to dinner, go for a hike, but I wasn't searching for anything serious and on this dating app. But anyway, is this female and I was talking, because I can say this from a long time ago when I was searching for that one out there. And yes, I do desire to get married. Yes, definitely. That is the main purpose for me, wanting to have a man in my life, as far as what they would call a boyfriend, girlfriend, so yes, definitely I would love to have a wedding ring on my finger, and not just to have a wedding ring, but to have a very committed relationship with someone who is a great communicator, who is faithful, and that really is working on themselves. And that's the thing that this lady and I was noticing, is on the dating app, and here were two females the same age, not the same, not the same month of the year of our birthday, but we are the same age. And it was very interesting, her input, what she was noticing online as far as dating apps goes, and what I noticed as far as it goes with communicating with men online. And that hasn't changed since a long time ago when I was searching. And I thought I would never really be on a dating app ever. But really, I am searching for someone to try to make a friendship with, of the opposite sex, to go out and go out to eat dinner, someone to maybe, like Starlight wants to do this. I have not done this in a long time. They do have a movie, and I don't know what it's called. One of my favorite movies was the Hunger Games, and there's another one kind of similar to that. But they have a new movie, and Starlight would love to go out to that movie. And I am so not used to going out and doing things by myself. I did have a friend a long time ago, around when COVID started, where, I would go out, and actually I had a couple people that I thought were friends a long time ago, and I had to really let them go. And so I'm looking for somebody right now just to try to make friends with, because you can't instantly be friends right away. But as far as the dating apps go, what I have learned, and same with this female, everything we agreed on as far as what we were noticing with men. And you guys out there might notice certain things with the females too, where, maybe you have a guy friend, or somebody that goes on dating apps and says, what is it up, with different things about the females, why do they behave this way, or what is going on. And it is really sad. It's really hard to these days to find anyone that really is willing to work on themselves, and like my YouTube channel is to be the change that you want to see in the world. And when I started this YouTube channel, I knew it wasn't going to be a popular topic. Like if I knew how to start a YouTube channel, yeah, I'm definitely going to get more views and more likes and stuff like that, having something like that, because in order to have a YouTube channel, you would have to check out those, videos of how to have a YouTube channel, how to edit videos, how to do, all these how-tos to be a YouTuber. So anyway, Starlight doesn't really know how to do that. You know, I've had to learn by looking up videos on how to, but that's not why I want a YouTube channel, is to teach people how to. Of course, I could put some input of things that I do that maybe I have not heard by other YouTubers, as far as having a YouTube channel and editing, and I do have some input on what I've learned, you know, what I learned on my own without anybody telling me how to do it. So, but that's not really why I am here on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is to really give awareness, and I really would love to reach the teens more, you know, my heart, because they're the future to this world is the kids, you know, teenagers and younger ones, you know, they're the ones later on that are going to be running things. So we really do want to reach the teenagers, and that even goes as far as relationships go. We really want to train up our children in the way they should go, and when they are old, they shall not depart. That's what it says in the Bible. So you really do want to bring up your kids in the right way as far as how to be, you know, a husband or a wife, and or like I know some of you might be in between stage where you're just dating and going out with somebody. Maybe you just have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you know, where it is wise to be that example that you want your kids to see. And it really starts off with teaching them, you know, to really want to be in relationships, you know, and to, you know, later on, of course, I'm not saying to jump right in and get married, but it's so important to get to know each other. And you know, there's some people that are out in the world that are living for God and are really trying to work on themselves and live godly and do things the way God would want you to be. And as far as like being in a relationship, not to, you know, just go with a man or a woman, you know, for a one-night stand thing. And, you know, I've been told many times, it's not a funny joke, but I've been told many times by men throughout my life, you know, I said, hey, I'm sorry, but I am not interested in a one-night stand. And a lot of times they said the same thing, is that, don't worry, it's not going to be a one-night thing. We can do this every night. But no, I'm sorry, but I'm really not interested in that stuff, you know. Not saying I've never done that, but anytime that I've done it, it tears me apart, you know. So really anytime I get with somebody in that situation like I have done in the past, if they were a decent man, you know, then I'm like, oh, you know, I wish he would change his ways, and I wish he wasn't like this. I wish, you know, that he wasn't just that one night stand guy or friends with benefit kind of guy. And I was hoping that maybe I could change their way of thinking. Maybe they would just, you know, like be interested in, you know, like having a relationship, you know, because those people that are into those one-night stands or friends with benefits, you know, there's a lot of trouble that goes on in those relationships. You know, they are, you know, they're going to end up having problems with that girl or that guy, you know, and they're going to have arguments and they're going to have problems, and then they're, you know, and it's not a great thing to get into, because now, you know, they're going to jump from one guy or one girl to another guy and another girl, you know, and how many guys and girls have you slept with in 1 year, you know, because you're not interested in having a relationship and getting married down the road, you know, and what kind of reputation are you having, and why do people decide to do those things in the first place? You know, because they're going to have problems with those people that they're just getting together with meaningless kind of, you know, like lust kind of thing going on, just a friends with benefits and all that. And then, you know, like and then they're going to say, hey, I gotta let you go, and then they're gonna take some time off, and then they're gonna want to feed that flesh again, you know, and they're gonna want to, you know, get another guy or get another girl, and just to, you know, like maybe have sleepovers, you know, on the weekends because they're working all week, you know, and maybe they want to go out to the bar scene with each other, drink and smoke and do drugs or whatever, listen to music or whatever they do. And, you know, it's going to get old, and then they have to go out again and find another guy or a girl, that don't want no commitment, and they're never going to be really seriously happy. And what if, they really desire to have somebody that doesn't want nothing to do with them because maybe who they are, maybe they know that they need to work on themselves or whatever, and again, recently I ended up having like a message on my phone, and I said hello, and that's it, and, boom, it's like, Starlight is definitely not interested in a one night stand or friends with benefits, like I said. And so I totally ignored the person. It's because I can't do that stuff. It's not meant for me. I really definitely would love to spend the rest of my life with one male. I don't need two or three, or, and the other thing about men or women, because it does definitely take two out there, men or women, when they are going around and just, like looking for the one night stand and friends with benefits, where it's not love, it's lust. And there's a lot of people that get those two things mixed up, where they're looking on the outward appearance, and, it's just, I know this has happened to Starlight when I gained a lot of weight, where, people can be really rude. They're looking at an outward appearance, and they're like, hey, you need to lose some weight there, girl. And because it's what they're looking for. It's a lust thing. They're looking on the outward, and they're not looking in the inward. And a lot of times, definitely these people need to work on themselves. And, maybe that's, if you are one of these people that don't want a relationship and you just want those, relationships that, has no meaning to, you're going to always be desiring to have that love connection. And a lot of times what happens is that people get hurt and they are afraid to open up their heart space again for somebody to come into their life. Besides that they might think they're fine, which is not such a great word. I don't like that word at all. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. I just don't like that word. I am sorry. So, fine is not good enough, and, they might know areas that they need to work on, but they don't want to take the time. And it could be because they are distracted, or they're too busy, too many hours at work, and they just want like this feel-good moment with somebody of the opposite sex, or even the same sex. That's been going on for a long time, but now it's getting worse with same-sex relationships. So are you the type that is looking for real love and a connection? Or, like I have been noticing on the dating apps, is that, not that I'm searching, like I said, is a lot of them really are not searching for that. They're looking for a quick fix. That's what I call it, is a quick fix. They're not looking for the real deal, like to actually, relationships are tough. They're not always easy. And I've learned with a twin flame relationship, which, that's the hardest relationship that you can be with. But with that is that you will definitely have your highs and lows, and you can get confused, like Starlight was a while back. I was going through some stuff, and I got through those times, with that, not understanding my twin. And that definitely can happen, where your twin flame, whether your twin is a guy or a girl, depending on your sex, is they will test you. They will test you. They will kind of see really how real you are, and it kind of is a way of breaking you down in a way, in some ways, of really helping you discover who you really are and what you're going to stand up for and what you're not going to put up with, so it can be challenging to be in one of those kind of relationships, but the love is so powerful and so strong at times. And at the same time, And those kind of relationships, they don't happen right away, so I have not met my twin yet, and it's been, when I realized I was in love with my twin, that was in last year of August 2022 is when I realized I fell in love with my twin. And yes, there was some complications, but what relationship doesn't have complications? And that's where some of these people that really just prefer a one-night stand or friends with benefits, they don't want to face those kind of challenges that happens in relationships. They don't want to have to have a person telling them what to do, which really, it's kind of funny on that part about that is like with Starlight is I definitely would only desire a dominant male, where a dominant male will help me to be my greatest version or help me to be that change that I want to see in the world. So, in that kind of sense, it's a little different than there's called dominant males and submissive females, where I have learned it's best if you should be, if you're a guy, you should be more dominant than the female that you're with. But these days, the way society is, most of the women, a lot of the women are more dominant than they really should be. And that could have been because the way they were brought up by their mom, because of the things that she's endured. And then you got males that should be more dominant than feminine or submissive. I mean, sorry about that. I was getting the twin flame kind of relationship where you got the masculine and the feminine, but this is about the males being dominant and the females being submissive. And I know when I was going to church learning about that women supposed to submit unto their husbands, for this is right and pleasing in the sight of God. I don't know if I'm getting that verse right, but in the Bible it does say how women should be submissive, in a relationship where the man should be the head. And, there's women that will fight up against this, and that's the way society has programmed the females to be, the way Hollywood stars are, and the way certain movies are. It's a way that they program the women to think and believe. And, there's a lot of males out there that could be submissive. And, the problem is that they fear saying anything to the woman and speaking up because of how society has got them to be. It could have been their father, and, I have to say, for me being a single mom, when I was bringing up my kids didn't have that father figure to help them out to be a, like with my son, to be a dominant male, so it is kind of something where sometimes, males will be more submissive than dominant, and there's reasons why men might turn more submissive, than dominant, where that's the role they should be playing out, is to be more dominant. But there's levels to being dominant, as far as when it comes to dominant males, and also there are levels as far as females, and I learned this the hard way, as far as females being submissive females, and are submissive females is what I meant to say. So Starlight has her whole life been a very submissive female, where there's females that are more submissive than Starlight. But I really see myself as being a very submissive female. I have no problem having the man be the head, because like I put in other videos, as far as relationship goes, you cannot have a two-headed monster, where sometimes people do. They get in relationships where it's the husband and the wife are both dominants. They want to run the show. They want to, where really, if everybody played their part and were the way God really wanted us to be, the way it was intended, where the man should be the one, and not all of you are going to agree to this, and I totally understand this. That's how you've been conditioned to believe, is, when it comes down to making rules for the house, is the man, it's his place to really protect and provide for the family. And I am old-fashioned, and I believe in those ways. I definitely believe. So he should have the last word. And that's the thing where women, not all women are like this, but there's a lot of women out there that don't want to, because of the relationships they might have been into before, or the family that they came from. Maybe it's how their father was. Maybe their father was too dominant, and where they said, I'll never have a man treat me like that, because of what they grew up with. And I definitely know some females where they might have seen their moms being misused, and by a male, because a lot of kids, they might see their moms with a man that's not their daddy, where that male could be very, very dominant, maybe over dominant, to tell the female all kinds of sort of things, and where it has a way of affecting her as her own unique being, So there is a line when it comes to, like that. So, but when it comes to these days, it's hard to find men that are really looking for love, and that are willing to work on themselves and change things that are necessary to change, as far as it is to be in a relationship. And also with females, it is hard for females to, where, females like the one that I was speaking to, is kind of funny. We both were agreeing to the same stuff. It was a big eye-opener. I'm like, oh my, this is so weird. We're the same age exactly. So, we're younger women, they need to be taught, they need to be taught. And this is where it really starts, is with the kids. How are you bringing up your kids to be, as far as a lady, as far as like to get her prepared, for a relationship? That's why I do not want my kids did go to public school, but that's why I'm against the public school, because the public school isn't teaching that for the parents. And the churches can teach that stuff, but if you're not, so I am not even here to tell you to go to church either, but mom, dad, husbands, wives, it's your job. It's not the church's job or the school's job to teach your children how to be, as far as a husband and wife and a mother and a father, by being that example, to let the men, to be the dominant role, because you really, you got to have that man to be the head and not the female, to rule the house. And not that he's, telling the female. There's times that really, if the female, now all of you are going to agree this, is, like a good husband is not going to want his wife wearing clothes that are inappropriate out in public, where it could seduce men to lust after her, and that is all up to you on how you want your women to dress. Of course, now Starlight is that type of chick that will go to a nude beach and have no problem with that, to go even with a husband in that setting there. But, there's clothing, and that is really questionable, where a husband might say, honey, I love you, but, I really, really think that maybe you ought to put a different top on, or, that skirt is, especially when you're going out to public. I was learning this when I went to church, is some skirts, women always don't think of this. I didn't think of this when I was younger, where the, bending over, like a lot of funny things happen when women, it's not really an issue about how men dress, really. I don't see men really dressing inappropriate when it comes to revealing things, but then I have seen some very unstrange things, and I'm not going to bring that topic up right here. It's kind of too much for most of you to handle that anyway. But if a husband really loves his wife, especially if you go to, like a dinner or something like that, and, there's a lot of women that do this, where, I am not big, look at me, I'm already covered up here. I get to get my purple shirt, my sweater, I got this yesterday, and it's funny, today I wore this, and I got a compliment first thing when I got out in public today. But I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there, but I'm saying, like, this shirt, it's covered up here. I don't have big, big breast hair, where I have seen many women where their tops are really low, and they do show, their breast, and, maybe the men, if the husband's like, hey, that's okay, that you wear that out in public, but, you do have to understand that other men are going to look to, you're going to have other guys looking at your women, and you really wouldn't want men lusting after your woman, but of course you cannot help that. And I know I said about a nude beach, but that's like a one time, like you go there and, your husband is with you, going at the nude beach. Starlight doesn't have any problem going to a nude beach. I did that last year, and I enjoyed myself, being free as a little bird. But there might be places that your wife might go, and that's not safe, where a good husband is going to say, like, you really shouldn't go to that place. It's not a very safe place to go, or maybe where your children are going, or what kind of people go in are welcomed in your house. The husband's going to see things, hopefully, that are not good for the daughters, how the daughters dress, and when they're going to school. And Starlight's not trying to encourage you to go to a public school at all. But if your kids go to public school, is there somebody that's like, guys are going to see it quicker than a female, So guys, because guys know how guys think, they're a man. They got hormones that I don't have, where, I could see things on a guy that might not do a thing for me, where a guy will see things and notice things quicker than a female will. So it's good to have your men, let the daughters in the house say, hey, what you're wearing is inappropriate, because you're so young, you're so beautiful, and, because it does. I did this a long time ago, is I was not wearing the right clothing. Not at all. I wasn't taught that when I was growing up. So I drew a lot of the wrong kind of men. And that's exactly what it's going to do. If you're wearing clothes that are, like very, I don't even know the word, is, because Starlight did. I wore some clothes when I did wear some clothes that were eye-catching out in the public view. But it draw in the wrong kind of males. So we got to train up our children, like to dress right, and to teach them, like to be a good example of a husband and a wife, and not to argue in front of them. We don't want them to get discouraged of going out and finding a husband or a wife. We want to encourage them. So don't be afraid of, it is okay to, get romantic in front of your kids. They need to see mom and dad kissing, and but of course there's a limit to what you do in front of your kids, so there's some things, there's no problem with doing certain things in front of your kids. Of course, the rest of the stuff should be behind the bedroom door, or of course if your kids are away, then the whole house is yours. Just make sure they don't have the keys where they can walk in accidentally. Hey, Mom, what are you guys doing in the kitchen here? So, I mean, if you're single, well, not single, but if you don't have kids, then, hey, that whole house is yours, It doesn't matter where you go, outside of the house or whatever, as long as both of you are in agreement to have fun like that. And relationships shouldn't be dull and boring. Starlight is definitely not a boring chick when it comes to relationships. I'm like a little kid, when it comes to that. It's great to have fun when you are with someone, and that's what the kids need. They need to see that, hey, mom and dad are having fun. They're funny. It shouldn't be too serious. So we really need to encourage our kids to desire, hey, look at what mom and dad have here. But if they see you arguing and fighting and cheating on each other, lying to each other, backstabbing each other, talking behind each other's back, of course they're, when they get older, they might be, you know what, if that's what a relationship is, I really don't want that. So it really does start with you, adults, as far as how you're going to be with your kids, to bring them up in a good, godly way, like to show them that, not that you're never going to have a problem, but you definitely don't want to argue in front of your kids. Be adults enough where you're like, don't, you got to have those rules with a husband and wife and say, you know what, if we are having issues, please be adults enough to say, we got to talk later on about this when the kids are sleeping, and it shouldn't be, where you're yelling and screaming and talking loud because they can hear through walls. I know what that's like. You definitely, and you don't want your kids being scared, seeing mom and dad not getting along, where they end up locking themselves in the bedroom, because that does happen, or they might go outside. They might want to get away because they don't feel safe and they're scared. So you definitely, I'm sorry about the background there. I wasn't thinking that was going to happen here with the people that you can see. So I really do love you. You're seeing a reflection behind me because I have a window behind me. That's why you're seeing all that stuff. But I do love you, and I know this video is long, but we really do. We need to bring up our children in such a good way that they're going to say, hey, you know what? When I get out of high school, I can't wait to, like start dating, where, supervised with the parents, of course, where the parents have good rules as far as what to do when your children decide, hey, I want to make a friend. That's where it should start, making a friend with the opposite sex, and give your children, they need to have, see mom and dad doing things right, and be a good example to your kids, so then later on they are going to desire to get married with that guy or girl out there. So that's where this all starts, that way when they get older, they're not looking for a one-night stand. They don't want that kind of stuff. They've been taught that's not the right way of living. And I can't tell any of you what to do if you're into the one-night stands of friends with benefits, but I could tell that you're not happy, and you're never going to be happy in those kind of, it might feel good, for maybe 15 minutes or longer, or even less, I don't know, depending on the guy. So, really bring up your children the way you really want them. Wouldn't you like to have grandchildren later on to, I say spoil, but you really don't want to spoil your grandkids. You really want to bring them up in a good way, like bring them up a way that, you realize that like might have did some things wrong with your kids, where this way when you have grandkids, you can say, I did that with my kids, and, I don't want to do that around with you because I realized that was the wrong way to do it. But we really want our kids and our grandkids to really want to get married later on, so they can have babies, and then they can raise them up to be, a good example out in the world to be. So anyway, I know this video is long, so I do love all of you, and I'm sorry about the background. I wasn't thinking of that I was going to, here I'm looking there. I was just couldn't figure this out for the longest time. How come I see them in front of me, but they're behind me in my video? So anyway, I do love all of you. I hope you can give this video, whoopsie, a thumbs up. You could share this video with a friend, a family member, a cat, a dog, a squirrel, also you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook at Kathy with a K Dingman. And again, this is a new thing I'm doing, is don't forget on my YouTube channel, and like I said, that is Starlight, and that's Kathy with a K Dingman, is to check out my playlist, because there's other topics about relationships, and also for videos with your children, how to be a good parent, also about friendships, and very important videos out there, how to communicate with your children or communicate with people or loved ones. So you ought to check those out. And also I just want to say that you are enough. You are beautiful inside and out. You are very powerful. You all are kings and queens. So take back your power. That's my next video. Well, the video before this will be how to take back your power. So anyway, I love you. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.